The Supreme Sign, The Seventh Ray, by Said Nursi. Observations of a Traveler, Questioning the Universe. Part 15. That world traveler voyaging through different ages chanced upon the school of the renewer of the second millennium, Imam-i Rabbani, Ahmad Faruqi. He entered and listened to the lesson being taught by the Imam. The most important result yielded by all the Sufi paths is the unfolding of the truths of belief. The unfolding in clarity of a single truth of belief is preferable to 1,000 miraculous deeds and mystical visions. The Imam said too, in former times, great persons said that someone will arise from among the theologians and the scholars of the science of theology. He will prove all the truths of belief and Islam with rational proofs and the utmost clarity. I wish to be that man, and maybe I am. Time has proven that the man referred to here is not in fact an individual, but the risale-i treatises of light itself. It may be that the people of unveiling happened to notice the insignificant interpreter and proclaimer of the risale-i and hence came to speak of a man. He continued his instruction by saying that belief and the assertion of divine unity were the foundation, substance, light, and life of all human perfection, that the hadith, an hour's reflective thought is better than a year's worship, refers to reflection on belief, and that the silent mode of invocation practiced in the Naqshbandi order is a form of this most excellent reflection. The traveler listened with utmost care. He turned and addressed himself as follows. It is thus that this heroic Imam speaks. To increase the strength of one's belief by as much as an atom is worth more than a ton of gnosis or other form of perfection, and sweeter than the honey of 100 visionary experiences. On the other hand, the philosophers of Europe have leagued together for 1,000 years to invent objections and doubts in their hostility to faith and the Koran, and to attack the believers. They wish to shake the pillars of belief that are the key, the source, the foundation of everlasting felicity, of life immortal, of eternal paradise. We ought, therefore, to strengthen our belief by making it one of realization instead of one of imitation. So come, let us advance. In order to bring the 29 degrees of faith that we have found, each as powerful as a mountain, to the blessed number of 33, the number of litanies that follow upon prayer, and in order to see a third stopping place in this realm of instruction, let us knock at the door of the dominical sustenance of the animate world and open it with the key of, in the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. Speaking thus, he beseechingly knocked at the gate of this third stopping place, a compendium of wonders and a spectacle of marvels. Saying, in the name of God, the opener, he opened the gate. The third stopping place became visible to him. He entered and saw that it was illuminated by 4 great and encompassing truths that demonstrated the divine unity as brightly as the sun. The first truth, the truth of opening, that is, the opening up from a single simple substance of innumerable varied and separate forms, together, everywhere, in a single instant and by a single deed, through the manifestation of the name of Opener. Yes, in the same way that God's creative power has opened up innumerable beings like flowers in the garden of the cosmos, and endowed each with an orderly form and distinct identity. Through the manifestation of the name of Opener, so too, although in more miraculous fashion, he has given to the 400,000 species of animate beings in the garden of the earth, each its symmetrical, adorned, and distinct form. He creates you in the wombs of your mothers, creation after creation in three darknesses. That is God, your sustainer Lord. His is the sovereignty. There is no God other than He. Where then will you turn? Quran 39:6. Naught is hidden from God, neither on earth nor in the heavens. He it is who forms you in the wombs as He wills. There is no God but He, the mighty, the wise. Quran 3:5-6. As these two verses indicate, the strongest proof of divine unity and the most remarkable miracle of divine power is God's opening up of forms. Because the opening of forms is repeatedly established and expounded in different ways elsewhere in the risale-i Nur, the treatises of light, and particularly in the 6th and 7th degrees of the first chapter of the second station of this treatise, we refer the discussion of this matter to those places and restrict ourselves here to the following. According to the testimony of botany and biology, based on profound research, there is in the opening and unfolding of forms such comprehensiveness and artistry that other than a single and unique one absolutely powerful, able to see and do all things in all things, no one could undertake this comprehensive and all-embracing deed. For this deed of the unfolding of forms demands a wisdom, an attention, and a comprehensiveness that are present at all times and are contained within an infinite power. This power, in turn, can be found only in that unique being who administers the whole cosmos. As is decreed in the above-quoted verses, God's attribute of opening, expressed in the opening and creation of the forms of men from their mothers' wombs, within three darknesses, separately, with equilibrium, distinctness, and order, without any error, confusion, or mistake. This truth of the unfolding of the forms of all men and animals all over the earth with the same power, the same wisdom, and the same artistry is a most powerful proof of God's unity. For to comprehend and embrace all things is itself a form of unity that leaves no room for the assignation of partners to God. Just as the 19 truths of the first chapter, bearing witness to the necessary existence of God, also attest the existence of the Creator through their own existence, so too they bear witness to His unity through their comprehensiveness. Our traveler then saw the following second truth in the third stopping place. The second truth, the truth of mercifulness. We see with our own eyes that there is one who has covered the face of the earth with thousands of gifts of mercy and made it into a feasting place. He has laid out a spread of hundreds of thousands of the different delicious foods of mercifulness and made the inside of the earth a storehouse containing thousands of precious bounties of compassionateness and wisdom. That being sends to us also the earth in its yearly rotation, like a ship or a train laden with the finest of the hundreds of thousands of vital human necessities proceeding from the world of the unseen. And He sends to us, too, the spring, like a wagon carrying food and clothing for us. Thus does He nurture us with utmost compassion. In order for us to profit from those gifts and bounties, He has, moreover, given us hundreds and thousands of appetites, needs, feelings, sensations, and senses, as was set forth in the fourth ray concerning the verse on the sufficiency of God. He has given us a stomach that can take pleasure in infinite varieties of food. He has given us such a life that through the senses associated with it, we can derive benefit from the innumerable bounties of the vast corporeal world, just as if it were some bounteous spread. He has favored us with the human state so that we delight in the boundless gifts of both the spiritual and material worlds, through instruments such as the intellect and the heart. He has conveyed Islam to us so that we derive light from the boundless treasuries of the unseen and manifest realms. He has guided us to faith so that we are illumined by the innumerable lights and gifts of this world and the hereafter. This cosmos is like a palace fitted out and adorned by the divine quality of mercy with innumerable antiques and valuable items, which then gives to man's hands the keys to open all the chests and chambers in that palace, as well as bestowing on man's nature all the needs and senses that will enable him to make use of them. This mercy that embraces this world and the hereafter, and indeed all things, is without doubt a manifestation of oneness within unity. Just as the light of the sun is a parable of unity, through its comprehending all things that face it, every bright and transparent object that receives the reflection of the light, heat, and 7 colors of the sun is also a parable and a symbol of oneness. Hence, whoever sees its all-embracing light will conclude that the sun of this earth is one and unique. Witnessing the warm and luminous reflection of the sun in all bright objects, and even in drops of water, he will say that the oneness of the sun, or the sun itself, is present with its attributes close to all things. It is at the mirror-like heart of all things. So too the encompassing of all things by the extensive mercy of the merciful one of beauty, like a light, demonstrates the unity of that merciful one, and that he in no way has any partner. Similarly, the fact that under the veil of that all-embracing mercy, the lights of most of the merciful one's names and a sort of manifestation of his essence are found in everything, and especially in all living beings, and in man in particular, and the fact that this gives each individual a comprehensiveness arising from life which causes him to look to and be related to the whole universe, proves the oneness of the merciful one, and that he is present with all things and does all things in all things. Yes, the merciful one shows the splendor of his glory in the whole of the cosmos and all over the earth through the unity and comprehensiveness of his mercy. With the manifestation of his oneness, he gathers together in every member of all animate species, and particularly man, specimens of all his bounties, orders the tools and instruments of animate beings, and proclaims the special solicitude of his beauty to each individual, this without shattering the wholeness of the universe. As for man, it is in him that God makes known in concentrated form the various forms of his bounty. Similarly, a melon can be said to be concentrated in its seed. The being that makes the seed must necessarily be he who makes the melon. Then, with the special balance of his knowledge and the particular law of his wisdom, he draws the seed out from it, gathers it together, and clothes it in a body. Nothing other than the one and unique master craftsman who makes the melon is able to make its seed. That would be impossible. Since through the manifestation of mercifulness the cosmos becomes like a tree or garden, the earth becomes like a fruit or a melon, and man becomes like a seed. Of a certainty, the creator and sustainer of the smallest animate being must be the creator of all the earth and all the cosmos. In short, just as the making and unfolding of the regular and orderly forms of all beings through the truth of opening, which is comprehensive, proves unity to the point of being self-evident, So too the truth of mercifulness, which encompasses all things, through its nurturing of all animate beings that come into existence and enter the life of this world, particularly the newly arrived, with the utmost order and regularity, causing all necessities to reach them, forgetting none of them. This same mercy reaching all individuals everywhere at the same instant demonstrates both unity and oneness within unity.